Okay, let me start with a simple, very straightforward question. Have you ever seen a busty anime creature stuff and sheath something inside their bulbous frontal fat lumps? Have you ever noticed how deep it appears to be in there following the subsequent disappearance of items and objects? And have you ever stopped to question what could be happening in there? That's precisely what occurred to me when I questioned why anime women with big heaving chest spheres can use their chest to mask and hide items through the use of their fleshy fat chasmic crevice existing amidst their chest mash, suspending and ultimately holding the item or items in place. Put simply, I pondered why anime women could house things in their hunkabadunkadunks. How is it possible they were able to have such a wondrous thing like have an extra convenient pocket quite literally molded into their very anatomical shape, with practical conventional benefits that defy the laws of gravity as we know it? How is such a ubiquitous thing possible? Well, it's actually reasonably simple. To get that answer, we need to ask how instead of why, and the how is friction. That is the answer to this kerfuffly conundrum. How so? Well, let me explain. First and foremost, we need to state the obvious of what we know. Anime women who are developed with a sizable chest have space inside said chest, like a storage chest within their chest, with capacity for one or more things depending largely on the size of the chest. The bigger the chest, the more capacity. The way friction goes and interweaves and squeezes snugly into this whole ordeal is that friction is the opposing force acting on the thing being put in between the titoles, as friction is caused when two or more things come into contact with each other and rub up against one another. This is specifically sliding friction, and it is present in everything so long as there is contact between them. See, the force named friction causes things to slow down and or decreases possibility of motion of an item or person. This is because of the roughness of the surface. Sort of wait, but how can that be? 2D anime clearly seems to be comprised of some of the softest level of tissue in the foreseeable Degen realm. All the visual and stimulative evidence proves the skin is so smooth that it is even reflective. But, despite the twin peaks of a 2D specimen being some of the daintiest and supplest skin patterns in the world, they still have roughness to them, as nothing in the universe is 100% smooth. It's this unflattened, unsmooth texture causing the booba to ultimately allow the item or items to defy the laws of gravity, momentarily, if not for an extended period of time. Heavily determined also by the level of roughness in the previously mentioned mass covering these hypothetical items. More mass, more roughness, more hold. Unfortunately, this is a big bust exclusive, and while flat chests do have a level of friction, it's not enough encompassing mass, and as you would imagine, it's not sufficient enough hold to actually deter items from falling through to the ground, as the skin is the only thing legitimately sustaining the item, and big chest pillows cause the item to be gripped from every angle, while flat chests can only grip one side. At least flat chests are way more aerodynamic, but that's a whole nother tangent. Quite simple, really. What I thought to be a palaver and for a moment reached a state of mind break, video on that in the future, turned out to be a ever so small touch of reasoning. So does that mean, sorta, that as long as it stays in there, it's not ever gonna fall and suffer the phenomena that is gravity? Why, of course not. What an absurd, preposterous, ill-witted summation. They will. Gravity is still very much active and is actively pulling on the item to come down. However, it's just being slowed down by the massive hungabalongas. Put simply, gravity is very much present. It's just the friction being produced by the chest is giving gravity a hard time. I mean it when I say this is actually quite the simple kerfuffly conundrum. If you guys enjoyed this video, theoretically if you have watched this far then you do enjoy my videos, feel free to leave a like, subscribe to become a full-fledged and totally not at all deranged, insane researcher, philosopher, scientist, or what have you. Share this with anybody who wishes to spread my undoubtedly yet questionable knowledge to. And I'll be back to answer another question not even scientists can answer. Bye. Degenerates.